Hello Capricorn, this is your forecast for August, and this month we have eclipses taking place. And wow, not just that, we got beautiful transits too. This is going to be a superb month following July, which might have been a little tricky for some of you to get through just because of the way the transits were last month, right? They're in July. But this month here, not only do we have the eclipses, but your main focus is where the sun is. That is on a month-to-month basis. Wherever the sun is in your chart, that's where you're going to be heading, right? It's the 8th house this month, which has to do with resources, money, not necessarily your income money, but the money that you have or hold with others. Okay, that could be bankers, investment partners, and whatnot, or with your significant other. You're going to be looking at how this can possibly be improved, and I'm seeing you working on it. There's something that you are dynamically going to dive into, and that is because Mars is there as well. Mars is our actions, okay, our physical energy as well. So I see you taking whatever steps it is that you can shore up, get your ducks in a row, maybe move some accounts around, or maybe even consolidate a few loans so that your interest can come down a little bit, your payments can come down, but somehow this is really going to behoove you. And it is also because that is where the solar eclipse on August 21st will show up. And so we already have the sun and Mars here, and solar eclipses are all about new beginnings, right? And it's a new moon, and so that in itself is strong. But when it's a solar eclipsed new moon, well, then it has the power of multiple new moons. So watch how this is really going to be transformative for you throughout the month. That solar eclipse is showing up on the 21st at 28 degrees in Leo. So whatever other planets you have at 28 degrees will also be affected by this solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is on August 7th, and typically what a lunar eclipse does is eclipse things out of our life that we no longer need. So don't worry about that, because the universe knows what's coming. There's other things coming to you, right? So whatever isn't or no longer needed, you want to be graceful about the way you just let it go. The universe knows what's coming that you don't know, so there's sometimes a little anxiety with people saying, oh, what am I going to lose? No, it's only those things that no longer hold any value to you, outgrown situations, patterns, and so forth. That is what is going to end. That's your 2nd house, money and income. That doesn't mean you're going to lose your income, but it could lose the certain way of the way you have been earning your income. So as you're letting go of the old, this solar eclipse is going to bring in the new. You'll see. But we're starting off the month here also with Venus in Cancer, the sign of Cancer. For you, that is going to be in your 7th house of love and relationships, long-term situations, interactions, and so forth. And it's all about nurturing yourself, your partner. The interaction you will be having is going to be that much more heartfelt, loving, a deepening quality. I feel there's a lot of heartfelt energy in the way that you're interacting with anybody who's close to you as a partner. It doesn't just have to be your significant other. It could be whoever you work with on a day-to-day basis, okay? So you are going to be giving more. You will also be receiving more. Might be a little sensitive too. The Cancerian energy will also bring those emotions to heart that is a little bit more raw. And I say raw, it's because Cancer has a shell, right? So they might feel a little vulnerable with coming out where their emotions, they want to self-protect. So you might even come up against that and feel that you might be a little bit more self-protected, but know where it's coming from. And the challenge is to speak your highest truth, share your highest truth. Do dare to say the L word without being afraid, that it might go awry. Top of the month, we might see that we could be up against some expenses, which is okay if these expenses are truly what it is we want, all right? But sometimes we might find ourselves in a situation where we just jump and buy something by impulse. And then we can end up regretting it later. It's like, what was I thinking? Right? So make sure, especially since it is a larger sum of money, that this is truly what you want. And the only way to really figure that out is don't do it on impulse. Wait a couple of days, then figure out if it still sticks with you, then go for it. You know, if you after a couple of days will say, oh God, no, I'm glad I didn't do it, well then you don't have anything to regret. On the 10th, in the following week, you could come to see, Capricorn, that yes, you might go out now and spend some money, but in a very balanced way, in an objective way. There's good negotiations about money as Mercury and Venus come together. But it's not just money. Venus also rules love. So on this day, on the 10th, you're feeling good. You're sharing, you're open. There's a beautiful flow, not only because of these two planets, but also because the Sun, which is you, and Jupiter now are connected in a beautiful sextile, a harmonious aspect. So again, since both Venus and Jupiter rules money as well, I'm thinking this would be a better time to go out and purchase and get a better deal, because now you can negotiate. Mercury's involved. The aspects is harmonious, whereas on the 4th, well, you know, maybe communication wasn't on your side, and then you might just regret it. But circle this in on your calendar, Capricorn. We have Venus and Neptune coming together. This is the date night of the month. We only have this twice a year, where Venus and Neptune can come into such a beautiful golden trine. Venus is love and romance. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So when you have this, we have otherworldly type love. I mean, such a heightened frequency of sharing. And so I always like to call it the soulmate signature type. So if you are in a relationship, get the candles and the wine out. This is beautiful. If you're single, Capricorn, you know, keep your eyes open. Don't sit at home. You might be the magnet that can attract a perfect partner into your life. Also because the Sun and Saturn being your ruler, is in a beautiful trine to the Sun on the 12th. This is on the 13th. So this is already active there on the 12th. So Saturn's already looking out for you, your higher good, the longevity of this relationship. So it will anchor things in. And not only that, but if you came up with a concept there on the 12th, for those of you who are artistically inclined, because both Venus and Neptune rule the arts and music and so forth. So if you had a vision, absolutely Saturn will say, go for it, you know, and you will be very successful. It could be new lyrics, it could be a new piece of music, sculpting, painting, dancing, that kind of thing. If you write, well, boy, the novel is definitely here at hand for you. On the 17th, this is the second day of the month where we don't want to spend without thinking. It could easily just be attracted to something quite flashy when Venus and Jupiter get together. And a day or two later, you might go, what was I thinking? Okay, money can really go out here. It's okay on those things that are needed. The 20th is a better day when Mars comes in and supports Jupiter. Then you can take action, and I don't think that you will have regrets there. Saturn is our divine physical energy. I see a lot of movement. I see you expanding the territory of your goals right now. Mars in that 8th house here with Jupiter, which is in your 10th house. So expect things from your career on the 20th to really start moving forward. There might be some new doors opening up, new opportunity, and how beautiful is that though, right? Because the 20th is the day before the solar eclipse, that new moon, and so you're already leading up to it. And on the day of the eclipse, we also have a sudden unexpected surprise, and that is Uranus with the Sun. Beautiful golden trine. It's the best aspects we can have, the Sun being you, Uranus, which will always be the wild card, giving us the wow factors for better or worse, but this is when Uranus can really treat us. So that is coming in. So we're already in this state of joy. You know, Jupiter is happy-go-lucky. Mars is all active. The Sun is you with Uranus that's opening up this door. And then this new moon, solar eclipse, new moon. And like I said, that eclipse is taking place 28 degrees. So anywhere in your chart that has a 28-degree planet will be inspired and kicked into action from this eclipse. That is the new doors. So the lunar eclipse shut doors on us. It removed things out of our life that no longer are important to us, but now it's going to start showing you what it's going to replace it with, and it is going to be good, right? It's going to be really good. On the 22nd, this drive that you have, which is expanding with Jupiter, that effect is still with you. From the 20th, we're looking at the 22nd right now. Saturn is coming in and saying, do you love it? Well, then let's anchor it in. That's what Saturn does. It's your ruler too. So you will know by the 22nd that you're on firm ground, heading towards the goals that you are ambitious about. You feel like everything has come together in such a way that who would have known in July, when things were a little difficult and challenging. It wasn't easy the first 10 to 12 days of July, and I think, you know, it really rattled a lot of you. At least my phones were ringing off the hook. So listen, what I could say here for you on the 24th, don't make unexpected directions. I would say it's a day to kind of lay low, just because the influence is a little rattly. But then, as we come into the 27th, Jupiter and Saturn, just like Saturn secured your Mars, okay, your ambition and your goals, Saturn is now securing your expansion of that direction, okay? And Jupiter is always so giving, so gracious, abundant, right? So you're ending this month looking back at August as a month that was absolutely to die for, okay? Probably one of the best months that we've seen here in 2017 thus far, and it's really setting you up for where you're heading into September. If you could, you know, by all means, come back and comment. What did shut down on you in that 8th house area? How did you experience it? Share it with your other fellow Capricornians. And the same thing, what opened up the doors? You know, what was that for you personally that will help your fellow Capricornians to see what it did for you? You may read their comments as well, what it did for them. But that would mean, if you're listening to this early, that you might have to come back, do it later. But you could also, next month, when you listen to next month's forecast, comment on the eclipses. Super exciting, so this community here can grow together, all of you Capricornians. And listen, I'll see you there in September. Have an awesome month.